Welcome to the newsletter. Most NATO members run out of weapons to supply Ukraine. On Channel HT New, about two-thirds of NATO members have exhausted their ability to supply Ukraine with weapons as the Ukraine war drags on, the New York Times reported. New York Times quoted an unnamed NATO official on November 26 as saying that the stockpiles of at least 20 of the 30 member states of the US-led military alliance were almost zero. Smaller countries are no longer able to provide weapons, the source said. According to the source, only major members such as France, Germany, the Netherlands, and Italy still have enough weapons in reserve to continue supplying Ukraine. Since Russia launched a special military operation in Ukraine in February, the United States and its Western allies have provided security aid of billions of dollars to Kiev. Overall, NATO countries have delivered $40 billion worth of weapons to Ukraine, the equivalent of France's annual military budget, according to the New York Times. Last month, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg also admitted that most NATO member states have significantly depleted their stockpiles of weapons due to aid to Ukraine. He called on the defense industries of the countries to help replenish the lost weapons. One of the main focuses of NATO is to work with the defense industry to increase production. If the conflict persists, it is important that we replenish our stockpiles, he stressed. The hostilities have entered their 10th month, but there is no sign of an end soon. Experts say the conflict could slow down or freeze in the winter months and continue into 2023. Some Western countries admit their arsenals are beginning to run out. German officials said in September that the possibility of military aid to Ukraine was limited. Lithuania urges its allies to give Ukraine everything they can because it has no weapons left to aid. U.S. President Joe Biden has repeatedly stated that Washington will continue to aid Kiev, for as long as possible, even when the U.S. military stockpile has been significantly depleted. However, many experts predict that if the Russia-Ukraine conflict continues to struggle and drag, Western countries will not be able to maintain the current size and speed of aid. At that time, the US and its allies can pressure Ukraine to come to the negotiating table with certain concessions. In this regard, Kiev officials insist that no international leader has pressured Ukraine to compromise with Russia, and Kiev has never made territorial concessions in exchange for peace. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba commented on November 23, "If Ukrainians are not tired, then the European Union has no reason to be tired of the Ukraine conflict." He called on the EU to focus on sanctions to reduce Russia's ability to produce missiles, the main weapon that Moscow uses to carry out mass attacks on Ukraine's vital energy infrastructure. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, share to support and update the latest videos from the HT News channel.